Everybody, it's Lex from PDQ.com. We've got an exciting one. So put your seatbelts on because I know you're like, ooh, advanced filtering. I know you're like, yeah, advanced filtering. We're going to cover variables. We're going to cover some regex. We're going to cover some stuff. And then I'm going to show you guys how to build a smart schedule. Yeah, stay with me on this. All right. First, let's just do some basics so we're all on the same page. How do you find data in PDQ Inventory? I personally like to open the machine Bugs Bunny. Down the left side here, these are your tables. So again, computer table houses, surprise, surprise, computer information, right? So you get the name of the machine, IP address, uptime, so on and so forth. So again, when you're looking for data, if you find it here, application table, you can go build reports and dynamic collections off that. So, okay, quick, there we go. That's finding data. Now, let's go into variables, because variables make pretty much your entire life easier, because anytime I need to change something, instead of having 50 versions of Firefox 8, Firefox 9, Firefox 10, I can have one, change a variable, and it's going to make a big difference. So what I've done is, this is how I usually go about this. I'm going to build a report, just a basic report, and I'm going to go look for machines that have the application name, and let's put the version on here. We're going to look for VMware tools. Okay, I've got a bunch of obviously virtual machines here, and the filter we're going to put on, obviously, again, is going to be the application name contains VMware. Now I'm going to run this. This is what kind of gave me this idea. I can tell I've got more than one version of this, so I'm going to just kind of group right here by application version. You'll notice I've got 3 versions of this. Now, to make collections that are a lot like the ones that we build, we're going to use a variable to do this. And Jordan, any thoughts? Well, I'm going to jump into putting variables in here.
Just a lot of variables. Well, just as far as the collections go, everything that's in the table you can find pretty easy to find, but you also can do like a custom variables if you want, where you can, if you're looking for something specific, so you can have information that might not be part of a default. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do VMware VER for version. Now, when I exit that field or go over to put the value in, you'll notice it puts that @ sign. That means it's a custom variable, and when you reference it, you're going to need that. Now, for the sake of this, to show this, I'm going to actually copy this middle version right here. So I'm going to right-click and copy. Most people can type it. You guys have been here long enough to know I can't. So there we go. Whoa, I copied a whole bunch of stuff in there. Apparently, I can't copy either. Let's try that again. I'm going to delete that because that's a lot of deleting. Actually.
We can only remove so much human error.
Only so much human error? Is that the case there? Delete that. Let's do it again. VMware. And I'm putting it in the wrong place. We're off to a good start today. I'm just going to call it VMver. And again, I may have to actually
You'd be really drunk if we were playing that game right now.
Would I? Would I now? Okay. Now notice I just highlight the 1 this time.
Oh.
Right click and copy. You're going to get, the computer's going to do what you tell it to do.
Yeah, I found something we need to center.
I hate you, JJ. I hate you. All right, let's pretend that's our current version of VMware. Now, to save a little time here, because I know it's super cool to watch me type, I started this, I copied one of the pre-built collections. I used QGIS because it's real simple, okay? And so all I did was, you'll notice, I brought this down and I renamed it, okay? And you'll notice I left the variable in here, or the name. So let's make sure I put the VMware in this copy. And we're going to paste that in there because it does matter what we're searching for. So there are all the machines. I got 41 machines that have VMware tools on it. Okay. Now latest, again, right here, I've already put the VMware for the filter, but I have not referenced that custom variable. This variable is a system variable that we maintain for you. That's that $sign. That's how you can tell the difference. And the great thing is I don't have to type this. I can just come in here and grab VMver. And you'll notice if I don't delete the one that's in there already, I have to hit the backspace a whole bunch. I am going to copy that, okay? And then I'm going to put it up in the description. The nice thing about this is we do expand variables in the descriptions. So if I give that an OK, so now I should see there's my new version number. I probably should have also replaced that right there with VMware so that we know we're not looking at QGIS. VMware.
That's the exact same blunder I made last week.
Isn't that? Is it? Well,
Not
there you go.
updating the descriptions.
And again, old, we're going to do the same thing here. Again, this time I'm going to learn from my last mistake and do it correct the first time. I'm going to delete the one that's there. I'm going to replace the variable. And there it is. I actually put VMware in this one, so apparently I did shoddy work early. But now, version's lower. So I've got a couple with 2 versions that are lower than 11 point. There you go. Now, I just want to point this out. When you're building these collections, the comparison here, when you do versions, make sure you use the version comparisons. And the reason being is, versions are, 1 dot whatever, right? And 9 dot whatever. It's a string, right? And so this is going to evaluate between the dots and stuff. So you definitely want to do version comparisons. Now, the other thing is you'll notice we're using version not lower than in the latest. Reason we do that, and it's probably a good rule of thumb, let's say something, you've got an automated update or you haven't turned off someone's auto update and one of those gets updated, so it goes from version 11 to version 12. If you use equals here, version equals, it's going to disappear. You kind of lose it. So I like to use version not lower than in my latest. That's kind of why we use them around here. Any thoughts on that?
Just with the versions in particular, I know I struggle with that one a lot, but normally it's pretty much the same until the end, so you don't have to get too complex as you might think to separate out what you're looking for.
Now the other thing I'm going to do, make our lives really easy, I'm going to do a new report from collection. Okay, so here is my VMware latest report. It's just got the computer name. That's all I really care about at this point. So you notice 39 machines there. I'll run this against all computers. And there we go. I've got my 39 and it matches. Now, assuming we'll just save this guy. We'll save our VMware latest. Okay. The new version comes out, which is, let me pull up that report we ran earlier. Okay. 11.2 point whatever. So again, we're going to copy and paste. I'm going to change the version number and you'll notice the collection is going to change, the report's going to change, and you'll see I've just done the minimum amount of work possible. I've been lazy, which is a good system administrator trait, right? Copy. I'm going to go over to my variables. I'm going to go replace that with that. There's our new version. As I close that, you'll notice this 39 is going to update, goes to 10. VMware old goes to 31, and if I go back to that report that I left open, VMware latest, it hasn't updated yet. And the reason being is we don't update those live. You just got to rerun it. So 39, as soon as I rerun this thing, run report again, there you go, 10 rows. So just to be aware. Jordan, thoughts?
Well, in the chat, Jeremy said instead of doing the copy and paste, he exports the collection that he wants and then does a find replace where he replaces the variable with a new one and then re-imports it, which sounds like that might actually be
even better.
I read that and it blew my mind. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you. You just made my life better, and less typing, copying, pasting. All right. So that's just a brief overview on variables. Okay. Did I save my? No. Let's not save that report. We don't need it. Any thoughts on variables at this point?
No, I think
No?
we're
Okay.
good go.
Now let's talk about nested collections, and this one comes up a lot in regards to. Well, actually, before we do that, do we have any questions we should hit? Okay.
Hey guys, what is the best way to create a collection that filters by 2 different IP ranges and excludes a certain model? Thanks, Russell K.
Actually, that filters by 2 different IP ranges and excludes a certain model. You hit me hard with the good ones today. All right, so I can get the first part down, the IP ranges. So again, let's go find our data IP ranges. IPs found in the computer table under, obviously, IP. So we want to report, or let's do a collection, right? So we'll do a new dynamic collection, and we'll just call this IP range. We'll go on the computer, and we'll say, we'll go to IP address. We'll go between. B starts with B, Jordan. That's
So while you're doing that, Russell did say in the chat that he needs to filter out servers. So not
Oh.
necessarily model, but we could do it based on OS, which might be.
Actually, you know, it's interesting. When you do IPs, they got that dot, right? So if you do a version comparison on those, IT version between, not between, we'll go version between, okay? So we'll go 172.16.99.100 or 1000. That'll work, huh? And then we'll go between 172.16.99.115. I'm hoping we got that range. IP range. Wow. We'll just go with IP on that.
Take
And
a
let's run
drink.
that. So there we go. We at least can see that. Do I have IP even listed here? Let's go pull up IP. Add that. IP. We'll add it.
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just this is not one where it's easy to keep the conversation going while you're writing it.
That
but
is true. All right, so I just put the IP address. You'll notice they are between that. Okay, and then you can add additional filters again. Look for servers. A couple of ways to go about that. I would go in and say, we'll add another computer, and we'll go look for the collection. Collection is a member of. Go ahead.
he did say 2 IP ranges as well. I think that's the big sticking point. So he wants to be between those 2 or between
Oh,
these
between
other
those.
2. So I'm just not sure which the logic would be in that one to do. I guess but.
Fair enough. Well, at this point, I'm doing servers in the IP range. Again, you duplicate this below, and none of them are servers in that range. So there you go. Anywho, that eliminates that. But that's how you would go about that. Again, build an additional filter to do that. Wow, we got hard early today on the questions.
It's all downhill from here.
Thanks.
It's one of those sitting down to do it, maybe not so much, but doing it live. It's a different level of pressure.
Good point. Good point. All right. Hopefully, I gave you enough to get you on your way. Nested collections, right? All right. So this is what happens when I'm talking to a lot of customers. They're like, "Hey, I need to update," and we'll say Chrome, right? But I've got 3 machines that have to stay at a legacy version that I don't want updated, and I want it automated. So a lot of the time, right, if you go into applications, internet browsers, you can see here's Chrome old, right? We always just focus on our schedules pointing at Chrome old. I'm going to show you how to build a production version of this that excludes some machines. So first thing we need to build is a static collection of machines to exclude. So new static collection, we'll call this Keep Chrome. We'll just call it Keep Chrome because that's what I can spell today. And I want to look in Chrome old because we're going to grab Bugs Bunny and Conrad so that I make sure that we can actually exclude some people that will be in there. Conrad. Okay. So Bugs Bunny and Conrad need to stay at an old version of Chrome. We'll give that an OK. And there's a couple of ways to go about this. Now, I'm going to show you both, and there's pros and cons to each. So the first one, we are going to say, we'll call this Production Chrome 1. And then we'll do production prod Chrome 1. So we're going to look in member of collection, name contains, and I am going to copy because that's what I'm good at. Chrome old. So there's the name. We'll copy that. Okay, paste that in here. And actually I need to put some subfilters in. Boom, we'll do 2 of those. We'll move this guy up. We'll move this guy down, and a sub of this one is we are going to add the filter member of collection name contains what is the name of that again? Keep Chrome. I can spell that. Keep Chrome. Okay, and we'll say not any of these. Can't be in that collection, and it has to be this and this prod Chrome 1. So according to this, Chrome old has, how many machines have we got in there? We've got 24 machines in Chrome old. This should be 22 if I did this right. Drum roll, please. Angels sing, I did it right. Jordan, are you surprised?
No, it's always nice when we get it right in the first test.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it. Okay, let me show you another way to do it. We're going to go up here again. And this time I like this way because there's not so much typing, right? So we'll call this prod Chrome 2. And this time I'm going to go in the computer table and I'm going to look up collections here, right? Collection is a member of, and we'll say Chrome old. See, look at this. I can select like nobody's business, right? Boom. And then I'm going to add another filter. Collection is not a member of, and we'll just do that, keep Chrome old. And again, we should end up with 22 machines. There we go. All right, so what's happening in the background? Okay, obviously Chrome, production Chrome 1 is looking at the name. Now the benefits of that is, if I export this, it's evaluating the name, and so if I send it to Jordan, he's got the same collections, he imports it, the name, there's a very good chance that's going to translate well in an export. It's slower because it's comparing the name. Now, production Chrome 2, if you go look in the computer table, it's actually recording the collection ID, I believe. Am I saying that right, Jordan? Mm-hmm. And so it's comparing the ID, and when it does that, again, SQL is going to run faster. So that's a benefit. It's more efficient, and obviously I didn't have to type. Gotta love that. On the flip side, if I export and hand it to Jordan, what's going to happen? What's possibly going to happen?
Unless we got the exact same collection IDs, it is going to fail.
All right, it's not going to do the right references. So normally I do this one because I don't export a lot of these. But again, just some caveats to know in regards to that.
It's one of those, if you're kind of the only server, then option 1 is probably not the way. Two will be faster. Want to do that one. If you have to share this out, go with 1, and that way it will work across the board when you import it in.
There you go. So, all right. So I like Chrome 2. That's the one I'm probably going to use. Now you just point your schedule at Chrome 2. PDQ updates whether or not the latest version of Chrome, and this excludes the machines that don't need it. So you're back to automated. All right. Any questions? And please let it be an easy one.
All right, we'll give this one a shot. Guys, my question is, what is the best way to filter or have the ability to filter by custom attributes from AD in PDQ Inventory? Thanks, Chris C.
Custom attributes from AD. Now, I guess the first question is, custom attributes, we don't pull those into the...
They're not there by default. I think
Okay.
it's expanded in the schema when you install Exchange. There's other things that might, but I don't think the custom attributes are there by default.
Okay.
But if they do have it, if we're not pulling in a PowerShell scanner to grab that, wouldn't be difficult.
Could you do it that way? PowerShell scanner, definitely. Could you do it from an Active Directory scanner? I've never tried it. I'm wondering, can you pull custom attributes from an Active Directory scanner?
I'm not sure. I haven't tested it for that one.
Nope, I don't think we have options on that. So PowerShell's the way to do it.
Yeah,
Well, thank goodness.
And that one, it might not even. I guess you'd need the scanner if it's going to import properly, but it's going to have access to the RSAT tools. That's what
That's
has the
right.
commandlets,
That's
or
right.
you can point it somewhere else to grab those commandlets. But if you're running the scanner, it just has to be able to reach those commandlets to grab what's in there.
Okay. All right. Let's do dynamic report, kind of a rolling report. All right. Before we get too far down the road, I'm going to do a couple of deployments. Okay. So we're going to send 7-zip out while I'm building this. I'm going to show you that's 7-zip right there. All I want to do is deploy it once. We'll send it to, let's choose some targets. Let's see, we should send it to some of JJ's machines. We'll send it to Chum. We'll send it to Brother. So we know, okay, so we got these guys. They're running. They're installing today. Okay, I'm going to build a report that shows me all deployments in the last 14 days. It's a rolling 14 days so that I don't have to go in and change the dates and stuff. So again, report, new report, basic report. Okay, computer name. We're going to go look in the deployment table. We're going to look for we'll say the package name. We'll also look for
Package name or path?
status. We'll look for start time or end time. Now we'll go start time today.
Start time works for me.
Start time. And then we'll also pull up the status to see if they actually failed. Status. All right. Now on your filters, the filter we're going to add is again from the deployment table. We're going to look at start time. Okay. And we'll go between. And now, okay, I'm going to show you the right way to do it, and then I'm going to show you the way I did it first, afterwards, so you can see kind of the contrast. I'm going to go in here, and we're going to start with relative date of 14 days. Now, you do have to smack a go here. Otherwise, it's not going to, obviously, evaluate the proper days. The second thing on this value here, I can go into variables and I can go to date and I can grab the date. So we'll call it deploy last 14. We'll run it. We'll run it against all computers and we'll see what's been deployed in the last 14 days. All right, so it appears that we've got Chrome has been deployed in the last 14 days. What happened to those two machines that I sent 7-zip to?
It's missing the time.
There you go. Now, they did finish successful, so if I go back here, I just got the date. So that date rolls up to, what, today at 000, right?
Yeah, all
so
zeros, yep.
any time after that, it's not going to show. So if you want to see everything up to the exact moment, don't go to there, go to variables, and we'll grab date time, run this again, and there you go, Babbitt and Clyde. We now have,
You had an X on the before you ran the report. It didn't grab it.
that's what happens when I do that, huh?
You didn't delete date.
Does that look better?
I think that'll work.
I think I think it will too. Oh, there you go, Babbitt brother. We got 7-zip. We've got Opera. I installed Opera this morning. That's right.
You even found the package we ran while testing to make sure it works. The change group.
That is true. That is true. All right, just something to know. Now let me show you what I did the first time, which is totally wrong, and you're going to get nothing. If you mix these up, let's do our date and time here, and we'll do our relative to 14 days from now. 14 days ago, excuse me. And date and time, let's get rid of that. And we run it, get nothing. Okay, that's an order of operation issue. So just if you do this and you know there's stuff that's supposed to be out there, flip the dates and try that. So any thoughts, Jordan?
No, apparently we need to be careful if you add in the variable that make sure you're deleting what was in there first. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time.
Gonna have a bad day? Yeah, bad time. All right. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna save that. All right, that's gone. Feeling good about myself. All right, is it time to talk regular expressions?
If we must.
I love and I hate regular expressions.
They
So-
might be the most powerful thing you can use with something not on their own, but like with PowerShell. It's most powerful. But I use them so infrequently that every time I have to use them, I'm relearning how to work it out.
All right, every time I do it, I have to go to regex 101, paste my stuff in, start doing strings until I.
And I'm
Takes
not
me about
sure I
30
want to
minutes.
see the job where I'm using regex so often that I just have it permanently in my memory.
Okay, plug for regex101.com, guys. It's awesome. I love it. Now, the other thing we're going to do is this. I am going to build a report based off of internet browsers. Now, this is going to be a super simple regex, but so we'll build this variable. We'll just call this variable browsers. Okay. Now, in this case, we're going to look for Chrome and Firefox, right? So in regex, Chrome or Firefox, right? That pipe is the or. And I know you're like, why are you doing this here? Well, bear with me. Chrome, Firefox. So now, report, new report, basic report. We'll call this browsers. And I still can't type. Check that out.
It's Camel Case Plus.
Yeah, thank you. Computer name, application name. Here's our filter, okay? Application name. Now we're going to go down and go with matches expression, okay? And I'll show you matches pattern later. Matches expression, and I'm going to grab that variable. Custom variable, browsers. In fact, I'm going to put that in the description right here after I copy it. Copy, paste, browsers. Run the report. There. That didn't give me anything that I thought it would give me.
I think it grabbed you everything but Firefox and Chrome. Computer name. Oh.
Oh, you're right. Computer name, variable name. Whew. All right. Thanks, Colby. Appreciate it, man.
Well, now we know that none of our computers are named Firefox or Chrome.
That is a very good thing. And I'm still pulling, okay, browsers, matches expression, browsers. Let's go look at my variable names.
Application name.
Application name matches expression. I'm using the variable. browsers, Chrome or Firefox.
I
Okay.
don't know. It seems correct to me.
It looks correct to me. I might have to actually type that in here. Application name matches expression. Run that against all computers. Here we go. All right. I don't know what it did, guys. It looked right the first time.
Yeah, I had no solutions on that one. It's like, you're on your own.
So this is the troubleshooting portion that we always like to do live. All right, so we're going to save that because it worked. Now the other nice thing I can do is this. New collection from report. Tap that one, browsers, application. It copies all the filters over. And now, I now have a browser that has got anything that's got Chrome, Firefox, or both. Now the reason I wanted to show you this is because you know what? There's other browsers out there. I know, you're all saying, what other browsers really would there be? In this case, I'm going to go, you'll notice I installed Opera this morning. This is why we're going to go back to my variables. We're going to go find where my variables are. There they are. And we're going to go and add the pipe and Opera. Spelled it right. Close this down. Now, 28 browsers. I bet they probably all have them all on there anyways. Let's just go run this and see if we've got any that have got Opera. There we go. Bugs Bunny, Chrome, Opera. So now I've got, and you'll notice when I save this, if you look in my reports, check it out. The description, Chrome, Firefox, and Opera. Pretty cool?
Yeah, that's why I think variable is way better than just putting it in the report. Any time that you can have a single location to update something, if you need to update it, is better, so you don't have to go hunt it down.
Absolutely. There's my filler word. All right. If you want to see other regular expressions, I suggest you look at the Office 2016. There's some negative look-aheads, okay? Matches, pattern. You look at your collection library for Adobe. I take you through these, but I want to get you guys to the really cool thing that Jordan and I came up with yesterday, which is a smart schedule. All right. So again, we're updating. Let's say we're going to update Chrome, right? And we only want to update this group of machines this week and that group the next week, but I only want to have one schedule, okay? So what we did is we went and we added a custom field called Group ID. Then we populated it with numbers through 1 through 5. In this case, you could do accounting, you could do whatever. We use numbers because the incrementing numbers is so much easier than changing words out in this case. So I'm going to build a new dynamic collection based off, okay, and we're going to call this group. We'll just call this the group dynamic collection. Computer, and we're going to look for that group ID. Contains, or equals in this case, because it's an integer, and we're going to go grab a custom variable called group ID. Just so you know, our group ID should be at this point 1. There it is. So this should pull all the, let me shut down a bunch of these, group ID, all the machines that have a 1. So hover, group ID 1. Okay, and we'll just copy this. We'll put it in the description so that we know that we are looking at group ID 1. Give it an OK. I've got 9 machines in group ID 1. Okay, I'm going to go change that variable real quick. We'll change it to a 2. Okay, we'll exit this. It updates to machines. These are the machines that are in group 2 now. Okay, so now I've got my groups that I can update. Okay. Now let's say you wanted to update Chrome, but you wanted to do this group this week, this group next week, and have one schedule. What you do, we're going to go back to this Chrome 2 production ID thing. And instead of looking at keep Chrome, because we really don't care about that anymore, this production Chrome, we're going to go look at members of the group ID, and we want it to be a member. Okay. So now they've got to be machines that are in Chrome old and part of the group. There we go. So now what I can do is I build my schedule and deploy to run off of this production 2. And we're just going to rename that production Chrome Intelligent. Intel.
So Brandon in the chat wants to know, how did you get the machine into the 2 groups? So the custom variable, if you want to show that again.
Okay. custom variable. We did a custom field
Oh,
first,
custom field. Yeah, sorry.
and then I populated. I didn't import. I exported and put just random numbers in there. If you want to see, let's see, reports, new report, basic report, computer name, and I'll show you the computer group ID. Computer. And our group ID, we'll just run that against every, well, production Chrome is the number 2, but you'll notice I just went and populated with 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s. Okay, so now we go over and we're going to build our new Chrome schedule, right? So packages, Chrome, new, not deploy once. If you hit the right things, it's much easier. Okay, we'll call this Smart Schedule Chrome.
Look at that. Not a single typo.
Not a single typo. All right, triggers, we're going to run this on Friday, right? After hours. Boom, you get the idea, right? Friday at 11 p.m. Okay. And then we're going to point it at our new production Chrome Intelligent Thinger collection. Production Chrome Intel. There we go. Okay. Package Chrome, stop deploying targets once they succeed. I give that an OK. The next thing I'm going to do, that runs on Friday, right? I'm going to build a new schedule. I built a change group ID package. Now, let me just pull up the, this is the PowerShell that makes all this magic work. Basically, it goes and reads that custom variable number, okay, and then increments it by 1. Once it hit 5, it resets it to 1, and if it doesn't work, it throws loud noises.
Yep.
So let me just run this.
At one point, I'm going to start putting professional errors in there, but loud noises seem to be the best way to
Loud
get our
noises.
attention.
So you see I ran this. I obviously tested this earlier this morning. It just changed that value from 2 to 3, okay? So we know that works. So all I did was I copied that into a package called change group, okay? We'll just schedule that to run, okay? New schedule. We'll schedule that to run change group a day later so that it sets it for next week. Okay, triggers, we will run that weekly on Saturday. And doesn't matter, we'll just do it at 11 a.m. Targets, okay? We're gonna run that on the console because that's where that variable
Yep.
any period does
anywhere
that.
else. Yep.
Packages, there it is, options. This one you wanna make sure it does continue to deploy. So take that stop out, okay? So you'll notice right now, if I go back here to inventory, and inventory, thank you. Kill that report, inventory, boom. Okay, group ID, we don't save that kindly. Has been moved to 3, which you saw, right? Here's all the ones in 3, okay? I'm just gonna, let's say that update run like normal, right? Saturday, this gets deployed. We're gonna deploy once just to simulate this. This gets deployed to the console, okay? Deploy now. It's gonna run, it's gonna connect, and you need to make sure you have your variables closed because if you open them up, it says they're locked, okay? Close that, it was successful. We can go look at the log and say, look, it's moved to value of 4 now, okay? We go back to inventory, take a look. We have group 4 ready for next week's update, okay? Think of this, guys. I mean, that's overly simplified. You put variables in, you can start doing by all kinds of things with these variables that you can change once a week to increment to do sections of deployments different weeks.
Yeah, so this one is about as simple a version we could make where it's just counting up a number, but if you had something specific in a computer where you had, like, say, 4 values you're looking for, you could have it set to a switch statement where if it's 1, it moves it to the next one. So it's not locked to integers. If there's information you can grab from the machine, you can build this out to switch between those machines to keep your schedule going with only one schedule.
All right, so hopefully that'll spark some ideas on how you guys can, one schedule. Well, I guess it's 2 in this case. 1 to do the deployment, 1 to change the variable for your next week's stuff. So, any questions? I guess that's what I got to cover today. So let's hit some questions.
Yeah, we're going to do a speed round.
Speed.
Speed round. Hey, guys. been having some trouble working out a report which filters for a specific application at a given version and only list the workstations with that specific application name and version in the results of the report. Thanks for being awesome and making an awesome product. Sincerely, Timothy M.
Can you leave that up for just a sec? All right.
Yep.
So I'm looking for specific application, given version, and only list workstations. All right. Reports. New report. We got application name. We're going to do a version.
Yeah, they say speed round, but this question does not lend itself to a quick
No,
answer.
it doesn't.
Clock's
Okay,
ticking, dude.
filters.
Do your best.
You got 15 seconds.
15 seconds. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and look for that collection is a member of workstations. That eliminates all my servers right out the gate. So workstations, boom. Okay, so 34 parent there. And then our application, we're going to look for application name contains, let's say Chrome. And then I don't know any versions, but you'd add your application version and do your version comparison here. We'll say version is equals, and I'll just grab that system variable for Chrome if I can find that app. Google app name. We gotta go to version. Clear down here. Version. There we go. Google. Hopefully this gives you the idea on how to do this. Google Chrome Enterprise version.
I would say this one, especially where we don't have like the parameters we're looking for ready to go. This is when you could also send in support, and I'm sure they could help you build out exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Jordan's trying to keep you within time.
There we go. Okay, Penelope, Google Chrome is a workstation. All right. Did I make a minute? Was I even close to a minute?
I think you did it very fast.
That was
I-
quick.
I am happy
All right.
with the
Yeah.
results.
Computer is a member of workstations, and then go after your application stuff there. Make sure your versions are compared against version comparisons.
Now you're over a minute.
Now I'm over. Shut up, Lex, and let's move on.
Moving right along, new in the PDQ Club, great work you're doing. Is it possible to add a custom description to your machines, e.g. the user assigned or department? Sincerely, Brian A.W.
You know, this is how I would do that. I'd go in and add custom fields. So you can add description, again, new field. We'll make it a text field. You know, department, description, right? Group ID in our case, pretty much the same. Department. Next, I'm going to choose a word that's shorter. Okay. Once you do that, as you go into each machine, you can go add those by hand, which I am absolutely against because that's a lot of work. But if you have a CSV file that's got computer name, comma, and then the department, you can import it, and it's much easier. But you put it here, department accounting. That's how I do that. Thoughts, Jordan?
Yeah, if it's information that's in Active Directory that it can't pull from there, you could query Active Directory and export that to the CSV. Just grab the name, and you'll have to come up with the variable name yourself, and then use the import tool.
Absolutely. The other thing is you're going to find that notice department is now located right here in the computer table. All your custom fields go in the computer table.
Colby says if you want those front and center, you can add custom fields to the main window.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Excellent. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Hey guys, when you set the stop deploying on successful flag reset once the schedule resets, or is that a permanent flag that gets set on that schedule? Sincerely, Darrell S.
So that one, it depends. If it is from our package library, then it's going to reset every time a new version comes out from the library. If it's one that you built on your own, you would have to clear out the history from the package, which you can automate. We have a couple webcasts on how you can do that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jordan. And those are reset on version numbers from our package library. But that's it. Target history right there.
Wow, that took you guys 20 seconds. I am
You
impressed.
did it.
Hey, let's go out on a high note. We're done.
Sorry, Curtis.
Not yet. Is it possible to add parameters to an auto download package? Curtis J.
Can you add parameters? I guess it depends on where you're going to add the parameters. Okay. In an auto download package, you'll notice right here the auto download stuff here in our steps is grayed out. And we do that because we need to be able to control that to say that we're getting that updated.
We can vouch for the stuff that we put out there. If you're
Right.
going to make changes, then we can't.
Now, if you wanted to add something after the fact on the parameters line for install 64-bit Chrome, you are going to have to go in and turn this thing into under properties of the package, options, convert it to a standard package. Then you can alter it, but it doesn't become an auto download package at that point. If you wanted to try, you could try and adjust. Well, I don't know if you can adjust parameters and pre-steps and post-steps.
Not post-step. If there's, I can't remember the name of the file, but a file that can change those settings that you could run in a post-step.
Oh, maybe.
What is that?
Like an admin file or config INI of
Yeah,
sorts.
config INI.
You
or
might be
something
able to
like
do it there, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right. If you want to change it, standard package.
I still can't remember that name. It's gone.
Gone.
Wow, that took 1 minute 5 seconds.
We're getting there.
That's not bad. Hey guys, if I add a post deploy step to a library package, will it then be able to auto update? Thanks, Brian. Aww.
All right, let's test this. I've got,
Well, he's testing. I'll just say yes.
yes, the answer is yes. Adobe Reader DC, here's my package. We're going to add a post step called reboot. Okay, and then we will save it. You'll also notice right here, okay, it now has a little, looks like a pencil. Is that a pencil? Means it's been edited. There's a post step there.
I'm supposed to be looking at your screen?
Yeah, come on, man.
Sure.
Now we'll go. Let's approve this, right? So we've got version 138, right? The new one's going to be 142. Highlight, approve now. You should download this bad boy, and we should still see when it's done downloading that we've got that reboot step and the post step. So yes, you can. Pre and post steps we don't touch. We just take care of the center. And the proof, as soon as that checkbox comes up,
Let's
I need some music.
Oh,
Come on,
Why did you
come
choose
on.
such a large download?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have done.
It was the one that was ready to go. There we go. It's updated to 142, and the reboot's still there.
Sweet.
Hey, in your face. I did it. All right.
I've learned my lesson.
There you go.
I have learned my lesson.
All right, 2 more questions.
Okay.
Does PDQ plan on making Microsoft Azure? John B.
John, I'm assuming making it.
Azure's been built.
Yeah. I would love the money for making Azure. Make it what is it? Compatible. Integrate with. Believe that's in the plan, guys. I mean,
We're aware of where the market's moving, and Azure is becoming
Absolutely.
more and more critical.
Don't ask me for a time, but yes, we're aware of it.
And our final question, guys, can you see event viewer logs with inventory? Sincerely, D. Martin.
Dean Martin. I'm trying to what's that Christmas song Dean Martin sings?
All of them.
Instead,
good ones?
I'll give information.
Oh, instead of me stalling to try and figure this.
So we have a PowerShell scanner. I think we have one that already looks at certain events in the GitHub that you can download that basically it runs PowerShell, goes out and queries, but it's looking for very specific events. So if you're looking for just general events, you can grab that, but it's going to make a rather large table. But if you're looking for something specific, you can definitely fine-tune the PowerShell and grab exactly what you're looking for.
There you go. I'm going with what he said. Thanks, Jordan. Well, hey, we hopefully made advanced filters fun. Everybody loves it. Hopefully you got something good out of today. Use your variables, some regex. You're going to have to study on that one. Again, variables, dynamic collections, dynamic reports, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Lex from PDQ.com.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Russell K. and Brian A.W., winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. If you have additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our support forums. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.